Hello there.
Welcome to the Force Collective. If anybody has read my Twitter, they know that I've got COVID and I'm now plague-ridden and nobody wants to be around me. I'm alone. Anyways.
No, we're doing it digitally.
Yes. I'm not next to you guys, so therefore you guys aren't afraid to speak with me. That's awesome. But anyways, today we are going to be talking about the Bad Batch, and we have another little small news portion that we're going to go ahead and start with first. And I'll have, well, actually, we got an ad that we want to share with you guys, or sponsor, if you will. So take it away, Sir AOA.
Today's sponsor for the Force Collective is Chandrila Starline. This renowned company have been providing cruisers in space for years. Now with a Halcron Star Cruiser, everyone, even the middle class, can have a space cruise when you're not going on holiday to Canto Bight. Fly to many places like Batuu and Batuu. Let's not forget about Batuu. For the price of a small starship, you too can fly among the stars. For once-in-a-lifetime experience, book now. No, book now. No, hey, book now. We need the money. Book now. Chandrila Starline. Back to you, Shay.
Okay. That was wonderful. Too bad I was coughing through half of it. Anyways, that whole that sponsor there, that's pretty genius, especially when it comes to what we're about to talk about. So it looks like they're charging outrageous prices for this whole thing. You know, I heard up to $6,000. I haven't been able to fully read the article, so there might be other process that it mentioned that I didn't read through. But they don't want anybody in like low income families, I guess, to experience Star Wars like this. So which I think is a little bit dumb. But they gotta pay for their stuff somehow, right? Anyways, I'll let Sir AOA talk about this here. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, the one thing that Disney, I don't think was ever told was that you don't make money running a LARP.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, and frankly, with everything that you can sort of hear about the whole hotel thing, yeah, no, it's just a big giant LARP. But anyway, thanks to Pirates and Princesses, we've got this great little article here. And if anyone doesn't realize, this is the website that Clownfish TV runs. So
yes, I like Clownfish TV too. They're awesome.
They're great.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they've released the pricing, and as you can see here, pretty pricey.
Yeah, and so the $6,000 price thing isn't wrong. I see it.
Yep.
Oh Lord.
Well, no, sorry. It's $5,999. Get it right.
Oh, sorry. I was mistaken. I'm sorry about that, guys. You know what? I've ruined my career. I'm no longer credible. So I'll see you later.
You're
Goodbye.
no longer credible.
Was that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean? I don't understand. What did I do?
We've never been credible.
Oh, well, that. Actually, I completely disagree.
Liar!
I think we are like the most credible. Thank you very much. Totally credible. Totally do not fact check us on that. Anyways.
You mean actual credible or Kevin Smith credible?
Okay, maybe not Kevin Smith credible. Okay, I mean that's stretching it there. That's stretching it. That's what we all aspire to be. Okay, I mean he's my personal hero. Of course, he brought back He-Man. I mean,
and then sent him away.
what are you talking about? He made the best choice possible. Now Tila is going to be She-Man. Goodness, get it right, guys.
Either her or Andra, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched the show, so I don't know what they're going to do with her character. I'm just assuming from what I've heard. But
No. It's going to be Tila's girlfriend,
her
Andrea,
girlfriend.
and she's going to become the new sorceress.
Oh, okay. I still don't like it, but okay.
Nobody does.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one then. But back to the topic on hand. Go ahead, continue, Sir AOA.
Yeah. Do it. We can see the different cabins, and
Yes.
it's actually really crazy. If you have a 10-year-old child, he will be considered a child. If they turn 11, he's adult, and you've got to pay for him.
Oh, you mean I've been an adult since 11? I could. Oh my gosh!
Well,
Why do my parents treat me as a kid?
well, according to the Galactic Star Cruise, yeah, you're an adult.
Oh well, dang it! I should have demanded equality between me and my parents at that point.
But I mean, the crazy thing is that it's only for 2
Equal
nights.
authority. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just mumbling.
No. The crazy thing is that $6,000 is
Yeah.
for 2 nights.
Oh Lord. Ooh. Look, I love Star Wars, but I don't think I love it that much.
And I'm sure there are plenty of other hidden costs and fees in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you want a stiff
Of
drink?
course there are.
Don't worry, you'll need to pay for it.
With the price of $6,000, you'd think everything else would be free. Look, I can almost understand if that was the case, but if they're making you pay for everything else too, that's a problem.
Food and beverages on the Star Cruise are included.
Okay.
Except the ones that actually cost something, alcohol and
Yeah.
And specialty beverages, whatever they are.
Yeah.
You can sort of see right here.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I see it.
But yeah, you can see some of the itinerary here. What I find really funny is that you've got cocktails at the Sublight Lounge,
Mm-hmm.
and of course you have to pay for all that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Makes sense.
But
here's what I don't get. So with how Galaxy's Edge is now, it's more for this is all like kind of it's good enough for a casual fan. The thing is, I can't see casual fans wanting to shell out that much money for that.
Me neither.
yeah.
Especially when you consider what the theme is, because it's all based on the sequel trilogy. So you're taking the least liked property you have and turning it into a super expensive hotel. I mean, why?
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, like I can see, like people maybe shelling out money to go and spend the night in Cinderella's castle or stuff like that. But it's like to find people, the kind of fan that would have that kind of money and be willing to spend it on something Star Wars, I would think would expect, I mean, they'd pay to say spend a night in Tatooine, or I mean, something that's actually Star Wars. But this kind of little milquetoast sort of thing, no.
And I mean, all of the unexpected story moments has to do with being part of the Resistance, and it's like, who wants to be part of the Resistance?
Exactly. Like, the Resistance is practically just a discount rebellion that was filled with a bunch of people that are supposedly crazy for believing there was a First Order. Nobody wants to be crazy. Nobody wants to be known as crazy. Come on.
But I mean, the thing is that as a sort of LARPing experience,
they're not that interesting.
It's kind of, yeah. So it's just really, it's like they picked all of the worst parts of everything that's involved and put it together. And
I agree.
And I mean, the thing is that you only get really one full day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see, arrive at terminal at 1 p.m. and then you leave by 10 a.m. on day 3.
That's not even a full day.
No, you get one full day. Day 2.
I mean,
day 2's full.
Oh.
You only get
sorry.
A couple of hours at Batu, and then you've got to, fly back.
Yeah, but nobody wants to be on Batu anyway, so.
It's good that they're sparing the poor people of this.
They're sparing. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Like, we know that this experience isn't going to be for everybody. So for those that are super poor, we're relieving you of this minor inconvenience for yourselves.
That's probably Disney's greatest service to the poor.
Now, for all of you people that have money to spend, come spend it on us and be tortured for a while.
But now Clownfish brought this up, is that if you don't have Star Wars Galaxy attire, you can buy it off them. My question is will they allow the cosplayers to bring their own?
Well, that's a good question.
Because the thing is that
they won't.
Because those
costumes,
those costumes would be so much better than anything that Disney gets from China. Because let's face it will be from China.
Yeah.
But come on, don't you want to have like the Last Jedi Rose mechanic suit? Like, wasn't that
look, I dream about Rose, Tico. Okay, I want that jumpsuit. I want to grow my hair out so I have that weird wave or curl in the hair.
What was that?
I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know what to say about it without being mean. So I'm just going to be nice about saying anything.
Yeah. Be mean to the people that put her in that, not to.
That's true. It's not her.
Agreed.
I've forgotten her name.
Kelly Marie Tran.
That's it.
Yeah, you're right.
Be no quarrel with her. Put her in that crap, not at her. But yes, at the end of the cruise, there's a gala, which you'll probably need to buy the alcoholic drinks they bring around.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
But
no, go ahead.
It's the next article that's on the website is the fact that people aren't happy.
Well, that makes sense. I wouldn't be either.
Oh, hang on. He's the great
Well,
ad
depends.
for it. Go, Brian.
It depends on what kind of fan you are. You would be either unhappy or you wouldn't care. I mean, I'm pretty sure none of us care.
No. I don't plan on staying
I'm not
there.
exactly dying to go to that cruise.
No, me neither.
Here's the ad to get you excited. No.
I'm already excited. That eye right there. I'm hyped. Oh, man.
You can't hear it, right?
Now that beard, though. That beard has got me excited, too.
No. Why can't you hear it?
Huh?
Probably have to pay to hear it. I don't know.
Audio is not included.
Well, you didn't share the audio, most likely.
Probably.
So you'll have to stop sharing and then share it again. So, okay, you beat me to it.
Doing the magic.
Yes, do the magic. While you're doing the magic, I've got my own magic to perform.
Yeah.
All right, now that I've performed my magic.
Hailing the Raylos there.
Okay, it's
we gotta look
after
after
for
them.
some reason. Don't worry, just share the screen. I'll have to apologize for some reson. It's not allowing me to share the audio.
Oh, wait, okay.
Hang on. No. Anyway. I just remembered. I just remembered why. Hang on.
All right, I guess I got some
technical
more magic.
difficulties.
Here we go. I'm doing some more magic. Magical moments.
You're making the kids disappear.
Exactly. I'm glad you got my treat.
You're not having any audio feedback, right?
Not yet.
Cool. Okay. And play.
For the first time, it's real.
What are you talking about, buddy? It was always real.
It's a galaxy. We got recruited by the Resistance. And now...
Oh, I'm so excited to be recruited.
No. We're going to save the galaxy.
Oh, is that so? Look, if they're being attacked by TIE fighters, they shouldn't be bringing them on the cruise. That's a public safety issue right there. That's one thing. You know what? I think I'm going to sue Disney. I'm going to go there myself. I'll dish out the money, but as soon as I do it and get attacked by a TIE fighter, I'm suing them for twice that much. I'll get my money back. So, anyway, I mean, it's the new trend. Everybody's suing Disney now. Scarlett Johansson, The Rock, Emma Stone. Next is Shade from the Force Collective, and I'll become famous from it. So, just you guys wait. There's going to be magazines and articles with my face on it, and you guys are going to be like, "Oh wow, okay, I see what you did there. Now you're famous." I'm going to give myself one of these because I feel like that was good.
Good job.
There. I like to pat myself on the back every once in a while.
But yeah, all of these tweets are the tweets that sort of aren't really happy. I especially like this. For only the cost of a down payment on a Porsche, you can experience an out-of-galaxy twin-link like the lights which few in the universe have ever seen.
I like the one up here. As if everything since episode 8 wasn't enough of a dumpster fire to kill off only genuine fans the series had truly had. I like that one. That was a good one.
And it's 7.8.
Yep. Oh, is that? Sorry, my screen's like a little weird. It's a little pixelated, so I misread it.
No worries.
My family loves Star Wars and will never be able to do this unless we win the lottery. Why are y'all pricing out the middle class? That's a good question. Really good question. We only want the rich.
I like this one. Sorry, when comparing value versus cost, there is no way any average family can justify this expense, and it only includes 4 hours at Galaxy's Edge. I think Disney is going to be rethinking its price structure at the end of next year. This has failure written all over it. I agree. I think Disney will be rethinking more than price structure at the end of next year with this. This would probably have worked if it was the original trilogy.
Oh yeah, or even prequels for that matter.
It probably wouldn't have worked as a prequel, even though it would be enjoyable as a prequel.
Mm-hmm.
But because they wanted to do the whole LARPing aspect, you would definitely sort of want it to be in the original trilogy. Because the thing is that the concept of the Resistance and the First Order is just not strong enough for it.
No, it's literally just the original trilogy with a added skin to it, like a modernized skin to it.
It's not so much that, it's just sort of a case of, as the ad said, sort of, you've been recruited by the Resistance. Why are the Resistance recruiting anyone? They are they're a paramilitary organization that's part of the government
that died in the first movie.
True.
So there's literally no centralized government at that point.
Yeah, but the thing is that, and they don't have direct backing or anything like that. But the thing is that it's sort of like, oh, we're part of the Resistance, which is like another sort of police force for the government.
I mean, the way that goes, like, we're gonna save the galaxy with the Resistance. Yeah, boy. It's like a.
Well, we did save the government. They died.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. If it were let's say that from a lore aspect that some person was recruited and they're like, we're going to save the galaxy, and then all of a sudden the government was destroyed and everybody's like, oh, well,
why the hell are we joining you?
Well, it's not even just that. Why would they? It depends on when, because apparently there is some sort of lore to this cruise, but it also depends on when this cruise takes place in the timeline. It's sad that we're having to talk about that, because I didn't honestly think that we'd have a lore-friendly cruise. Not a bad idea, but unfortunately, it's during the worst part of the Star Wars timeline that to current, so we also got to figure out what part of the timeline it is, and if it's before the First Order destroy the New Republic, why are they joining the Resistance and trying to save the galaxy? Because the New Republic has their own military. Why are they joining a organization that nobody knows about? First of all,
I actually think that the main problem you have with all of this is that you're asking too many questions. You're supposed to consume and not ask questions. So
dang it, you keep telling me this.
You meant to consume media and get excited for next media.
Yeah,
that's right. I'm sorry, I forgot about that stream where we talked about that. Forgive me. I'm sorry, but those questions still stand though. Like, if anybody, had those questions. Not saying I'm asking the questions, not me at all. But if somebody was to ask, why would they join a group that is a lot like Saw Gerrera's group in the opinion of the New Republic? If you didn't think about that either,
do not equate that to Saw Gerrera's group. No, don't do that. Do not.
Yeah,
down to the level of.
You beat me to that.
The difference is Saw Gerrera would do whatever needs to be done to just accomplish stuff. The Resistance, I just don't get. They're milquetoast kind of.
Well, okay, a discount Saw Gerrera group. Let me put it that way, because I mean the New Republic is basically what the Rebellion was, and then the Resistance is like what Saw Gerrera's group was, but a very less lethal group apparently, a very incompetent group as well. Which I guess that's also saying a lot about the New Republic because
Saw Gerrera has been replaced by Rose Tico.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Actually, that is a really that just pinged something in my head. The Resistance is incredibly incompetent if you think about it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, how long did they have to? How long did they have to find the First Order? And especially, they might not have directly had governmental backing, but it's not like they had no one. And it took them decades to find.
When you have leadership like Admiral Holdo, who keep all the competent people out of the loop of all kinds of all plans. Like, what do you really expect them to ever find the First Order, to find Starkiller? No.
But I mean, the thing is that kidnapped hundreds and thousands and possibly millions of children, and you could not find Starkiller Base or the training or anything like that.
Nobody ever caught on?
What were the Resistance doing? Just sitting around with their thumbs stuck up their bums?
No, I think they were doing that with the New Republic. Because both of them are very incompetent.
It's all part of the plan.
Gotta also
it's all part of Holdo's plan. Trust the plan.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't ask questions. Just deal with it. I'm right in the end, no matter what, even if the plan is faulty. That at least is Holdo's philosophy. But the New Republic was supposed to be the authority over the galaxy at that point. So why was it up to the Resistance to find a nobody group, basically, just a ragtag group of wannabe rebels with a discount Leia as their leader? She became a general instead of being a princess. I don't know. I mean, she technically ain't a princess. I'm rambling, but she's technically not a princess anymore. But it feels right to call her that. I mean, no, she would still be a princess. She just doesn't have a place to rule anymore. She's wouldn't she be like the princess of her people?
She can rule over the asteroid belt that used to be her planet.
I mean, she could have a station there with all of the survivors of Alderaan, and then that whole station she'd be the leader of. So technically, she is a princess still.
Yeah, that is true, though.
Well, she's now a Disney property, so she is a princess.
Yeah, that is true. But with the Resistance has Leia, which Leia, after the Empire fell, should have had more influence with the New Republic than she does, apparently. I mean, we can tell from unfortunately, I'm getting ready to reference a certain movie I hate, but in the end of Star Wars Episode 8, nobody came to help Leia at all. I mean, of course,
they do for Lando. They do for Lando.
Yeah, he's the real Mary Sue. Remember?
He is. Maybe he's a princess. I don't know.
I mean, you can the baby Muppets can will tell you everybody can be a princess, even Gonzo.
Oh,
you,
yes.
you guys don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I seen.
Yeah, sadly
I've
we
seen
do.
that. So, any Gonzarella. Okay, I'm not going into that one. That's a whole other topic that I don't want to get into because that will be a long rant. But I forgot where I was going with this. Okay, I remember now. So, why isn't General Leia at this point in a higher position within the New Republic, and why is she leading a resistance group? Like, what are they resisting? I mean, the First Order is a thing, but nobody else knows that.
I can answer that. I can answer that first part of the question.
Okay.
because everyone found out that Daddy Anakin was Darth Vader. How? I don't know. Why? I don't know. Because I mean, really, it's. I don't really see, Luke and Leia really going. Daddy was Darth Vader. And the thing is that anyone that would know would probably be sort of like a higher up in the Republic or in the Rebellion. So it's not like, unless the Force Ghosts just went around and went, yeah, hey, Anakin went to the dark side and became Darth Vader.
Well, see, there's a problem with that, though. If they did find out, it wouldn't really matter, in my opinion, because Leia was the one that founded or helped found the rebellion. Her and her father, not even them, but they actually there's a deleted scene in Episode 3 where Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, Padme, all of them are all grouped together talking about forming a rebellion because they already seen that there was a storm brewing. Which, of course, most of them ended up separated or one of them's dead at the very least. And the thing about that is a lot of people know Leia as Bail Organa's daughter. So if let's say that did happen, that they found out that Darth Vader was her actual father, are they just going to discount all the work that she has done to make the rebellion, which I would assume become the New Republic, into what it is? I don't think that would be the case, especially since
according to Lucasfilm Story Group, yes.
Well, and what you're getting at is that could be the reason that the story group gives, but the behind the scenes reason is they just didn't want to give the Skywalkers any kind of legacy whatsoever. I think a lot of what we've talked about with the sequels is kind of what they did with Luke's character, but also it's worth mentioning kind of what they did with how they sidelined Leia and just kind of gave her this incompetent group of rebellion light to manage. And even just the stuff like, why did they have to insist on why the switch from princess to general? There's no issue with her being princess in the original trilogy. Why? I don't get that.
I mean, they've established that there are survivors, of Alderaan, so she still technically is.
Because then they wouldn't be able to say that cool line at the beginning of the movie. I remembered when she was called Princess.
Well, yeah, that's very true. Another another thing because they did degrade Leia's character a lot, in my opinion. Even though I feel like they thought they were building her up, but at the same time, I think they sort of degraded her a little bit.
I get things changed when Carrie Fisher died, and they were kind of pitching that you're going to get a lot of Leia in the 9th movie and whatever. But yeah, I don't think what they viewed as improvements to her, I feel like that she's just kind of sidelined and minimized, and just made less cool.
Well, The Last Jedi is what really got me on Leia's character. Like, I can say what you say what you want about what they did with her in The Rise of Skywalker. She wasn't there. That wasn't technically her doing that. So that was everybody doing the editing and adding stuff in and all that junk. But in The Last Jedi, they had her. Well, this is a better way to. I want to say this is a better way because I feel like I was going the wrong direction with that. Okay, so in The Last Jedi, if you remember, Poe goes up against the Dreadnought, and in the end, she slaps him for it. Now, okay, so the reason why she did that is because, oh man, we lost so many people. Like, that was very reckless of you. But if you think about it, though, that's a Dreadnought. And then followed by that was Snoke's Superstar Destroyer, whatever it's called. What would just running away from that Dreadnought do for them? Like, I mean, yeah, they lost a lot, but why reprimand somebody for sacrificing everything?
They lost a flight squadron to save pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
Cost benefit analysis kind of was on Poe's side.
Yeah, but there was actually a problem with that. He's a man.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
yep.
I mean, besides that one issue, I'm sure if
Rey had done that, she would be praised.
That's true. That's true. I didn't think
he's not
that.
allowed to be competent.
That is so true.
He's not.
Men are not allowed to be competent in Star Wars anymore. Nope.
That's unfortunately true. But she reprimands. I think that's the word for it. Poe for basically leading a squadron of extremely terribly designed and slow bombers, which I think was stupid, into a fight against a Dreadnought. Now, these bombers didn't seem to have enough shielding, apparently, because they died in one hit from a TIE fighter.
Or competent pilot.
Or, yeah.
Oh, I don't think competency comes into flying those things. They were slow and of course they were going to be destroyed, and they were flying far too close together.
Yep. I mean, otherwise some of those pieces of debris wouldn't have hit the other ones and blown them up. All in all, that whole scene was just dumb.
It wasn't pilot error. That's what I was trying to get at. It was whoever bloody purchased them error.
Yeah. I mean, what happened to the Y-Wings?
Oh, what? Are you talking about the Y-Wings that they flew against the Starkiller base? Talking about those ones?
They flew Y-Wings at Starkiller base?
I thought they did, didn't they?
I remember seeing Y-Wings. No, they never did. They never did. That was only in the original trilogy.
What actually happened is they needed to sell different ships toys, so yeah, they created those awful bombers.
They all should know better. Why would they use
competent aircraft?
Yeah. No. Why would they?
Why would they? That's a good question. Very good question. I mean, like I said, they were terribly designed.
Mm.
They were insanely slow, and they didn't seem to have shields, especially to keep or shields or force fields to keep air within the ship or bomber, because anybody could have got sucked out of the bottom of that thing. They should have at least gave a reason for some people not getting sucked out of it. I mean,
Ray
I'm not the only
shielding.
one that noticed. Ray shields, you see them though. Just look at Star Wars Episode 3. There's like a little bit of distortion that shows you, oh wait, there's something in front of them. It may not be a big solid object, but it is something there. That's the problem. And it looks like at any moment, Rosa's sister, I think her name was Paige, could have gotten sucked out of the bottom of that with the bombs, and blew up with them, but no, it didn't happen. Instead, somehow the little detonator remote falls down, passes her. Somehow she does like a quick flip on the little platform she's on, grabs it, and then blows everything up. that is
Actually,
my summary.
From memory, how many bombers did they actually have?
They probably had close to 9.
9 bombers to do the job that 2 Y-Wings could have done easily.
Yeah. Y-Wings are so much smaller and easier to use. And faster.
And quicker.
Yes.
And sturdy.
Oh, let's send these huge ones. Sturdy. Exactly. Don't they even have like ion bombs or something like that? So they could like...
Yep.
They have ion cannons. They can disable turrets.
Yeah, exactly. So for somebody to be like, oh, I just want to play out my stupid bomber fantasy with this, makes no sense, They should have just went with the safe choice and went with Y-Wings. Plus, the Y-Wings look much better. They may not be this big bomber plane type thing that they were going for, but it is still a very cool, spacey design.
When you play Squadrons as a Y-Wing, you can totally picture how wrong it was for them to go with those awful bombers.
Exactly. I personally really like the design of the Y-Wing. I think there's three vehicles in the original trilogy that I like a lot. They're all on the Rebellion side. They're my favorite vehicles in the entirety of the original trilogy. And that's the A-Wing, the B-Wing, and the Y-Wing. Those are the only 3 vehicles I truly love more than anything. If I could have each of those, I would. If I had to choose between any vehicles in the original trilogy, those 3 would be it. So for them to not use or not use them much, like all 3 of those, I don't think, did they even use B-Wings in the last movie? I know they didn't in the other movies. They barely used
really underused throughout Star Wars in general.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I don't know. And we're really off topic. We probably ought to get on to
well, there's a few things.
Oh, go ahead.
That there's this great little tweet here. Middle class families need not apply. Maybe they will add steerage class. $4,000 for a budget resort with LED windows. Never going. My wife and I can spend 7 nights at a super nice all-inclusive resort in the Dominican Republic for around $4,500 total, including flights. It's an easy decision. And then some people are bringing up the point that you don't actually get 2 full days. You get pretty much only a day and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't.
I almost got my own shit for that.
I didn't even see this tweet, and I added it to the ad.
Yes, I noticed that, and I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. You were able to predict that reference. I think you're developing prediction powers as I have.
But yeah, no, it's yet again more people just kicking the dead horse.
Did you say more?
No, I said dead.
Yes,
oh, I did too.
There you go. All right. My first more of the night.
But
yeah, nobody likes it.
If everyone, hey, there's a few people that were sort of going, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my ticket straight away type situation. But yeah,
they're probably the kinds that can throw money at people and be like, oh, just keep it. I don't need it. That's just pocket change for me.
Oh geez, someone's just made this. Disney writes a movie, Last Jedi, where the subplot is rich people are evil and overindulge themselves on rich planets where people can never hope to go. Also, Disney, check out new Star Wars hotel, rich people only. Oopsie.
That's interesting because for a company that claims to be inclusive, they're excluding like 80% of their fan base.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's actually been a sort of common thing that's been going through a lot of their decisions when it comes to the parks. It's just sort of like, what? Middle class? Yeah, no, we don't want them or need them. Rich people, please come. Come to fake Europe. Don't worry about going to real Europe. Come to fake Europe.
Exactly. But nobody wants you up there. We want you down here.
So yeah, it's.
See, this is the kind of power you have to rephrase things. I'm sure you heard it.
Yeah. Yes, I know. Why do you remind me? Why do you remind me, Chrono? Why? I know I'll do it again. It's this is an inside joke between me and Chrono, so I don't blame you guys for not knowing exactly what we're talking about. But
cool, because I've got question marks just spawning all around my head.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit of an inside joke that I sort of walked into, but I'll show you guys after the stream. It's sort of funny. Anyways, is there anything else related to this article that you want to go over before we move on to the topic at hand?
Not with me. Something.
Oh, you got something? Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying unless someone else can think of something, because.
Well, I guess not.
No.
Nobody seems to. Okay, we're going to go ahead and talk about the latest episode of The Bad Batch. Okay, so the stream before, we had to stretch the conversation out. We actually had to try to stretch it out. This time, I don't think we'll have to try. This one was probably one of the best episodes in the entire first season. And by the way, I will say, I told you guys there'd be a second season. I mean, it was sort of apparent. I know a lot of people doubted it, but I honestly knew there was going to be a second one because I am a prediction master. So anyways, away from the bragging about my awesome prediction powers, we do have a season 2 coming up, but this right here, I can't wait to see how these last 2 episodes will lead into the new season. So we'll go ahead and start with the initial thoughts of the episode. Since Commander Tano is underneath me, she is going to go first. What is your initial thoughts of this episode, Commander Tano?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So when I watched it, so when I watched it, I wasn't aware of whether there would be a second season or not. So I was, when I originally watched it, I was like kind of stressed. Like, if there's just one season of this, I don't feel like there's enough time to do everything that this story needs to do in the 2 remaining episodes. But knowing that we've got a second season, it's now got me rethinking how this could end and where this could go. I think the one thing that I was kind of surprised about is that I was expecting this all to consist of a long, this episode and the next 2 to consist of a long Crosshair chasing down the Bad Batch and whatever, but it's like now.
You didn't have to do that now.
Well, I thought it was funny and I wanted to look at it. I've seen that, and it makes so much sense.
Yep, it does.
Yes,
it does.
All right, continue.
What was I saying? So yeah, I was surprised how quickly it took to get Crosshair kind of caught up with at least Hunter, and I need to see more. I mean, I have some hope now for the next 2 episodes, but yeah, I'm curious because it seems like every other episode we get Crosshair, I'm either thinking like, oh, he's kind of conflicted. The chip may be wearing off, or maybe the being blasted by an engine has done something to it. And then, like, say in this one, I'm like, oh, he seems normal. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I honestly think that the next 2 episodes are going to be really good because they called this finale a 2-part finale, and that's all that remains after today is, or as of right now, all that remains is 2 episodes. After tomorrow, just 1. So we're getting a part 1 and then a part 2 on the 13th to, I guess, whatever happens in this next episode. But can we also? Well, no. I'll go ahead and get other thoughts first before I say anything. You got anything else to say, Commander Tono, before I move on?
That's it for the time being.
All right, Chrono. What about you? Initial thoughts.
Well, yeah, I really enjoyed the episode. It was a huge change from last episode, which we were like, nothing happened. It was a big nothing burger.
Yes.
So yeah. I believe that the episode was wisely used to set up what comes next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a bit rushed, maybe to just bring them back to, instead of seeing the actual chase, we just saw Crosshair talking to Hunter in captivity. So I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that, but yeah, it feels like if we hadn't gotten the filler episode, we could have seen the chase.
Yeah, we could have had like maybe 2-part arcs about the chase, or we could have gotten 1 full 4-episode arc about the chase and how it ends. I mean, it looks like we're getting a 3-episode arc, even though they're calling this last part a 2-part season finale or whatever. I feel like that this episode is probably the part 1 to it anyways. So
yeah, it does feel like that.
Yeah. Anything else to say on that? Or
well, yeah, the one thing that I really liked is the way they interacted with each other during this episode, because they really feel like a unit. I mean, they always have, but this time it was like even more serious. The stakes are too high.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole thing about them not knowing what they're going into and still doing it because they just can't turn away. And
yep.
I really liked the tone of this episode. It felt it felt like it was going to get worse way quicker than it would get better.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else on that, or you want to move on?
That would be it.
Okay, Sir AOA, your initial thoughts.
Gregor!
I wanted to mention that I predicted that would happen, but I felt like I've been talking too much about my prediction powers already. But we did predict that earlier on in a couple streams back, didn't we?
Something along those lines.
I know I mentioned it, but I don't know if I was saying that I was predicting it to happen or not. I can't remember.
But I mean, the thing is that that image that kind of was shot up earlier kind of does encapsulate my initial It very much feels like that.
I completely agree, and I'm not mad about it either.
I don't think the next 2 episodes are going to be as spectacular as it seems.
You think so?
Hey, they're going to be great episodes, but I don't think we're going to sort of get Clone Rebellion type of situation.
Well, that's why
I think they're going to build that up for later.
Here's where you play the clip.
Huh?
That's where you play the clip.
Wait a minute. Which clip? Which one?
Anakin's clip.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, that one. That's right. Sorry, my brain still is like barely functioning. If you haven't noticed.
No, but I like how I think even now the Bad Batch are sort of realizing this ain't Kansas anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true. That's true. They're realizing that this fight isn't just, or they can't just stay hidden from the fight.
And because I mean, they sort of hacked into something and went, oh yeah, we'll just use these codes. And it's like, oh wait, hang on, these codes don't work anymore. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much my initial thoughts. If I continue on, I'll go into the sort of deep dive thoughts and.
Well, we're about to go into that in just a minute, but I first wanted to mention the new Stormtrooper armors. Those things look nice.
Yes, they do.
Oh yes, yeah.
I really like what they did with them. The new Stormtrooper design. Like, I guess the original Stormtrooper design, because it is the armor that they used on the conscripted soldiers in that hidden base. Which, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, including the inclusion of Scorch from Delta Squad. If anybody else knew that, Scorch showed up in this episode. It was one of my favorite moments, but at the same time, it was very bitter. Because that just shows that Scorch followed Order 66, and Scorch is one of my favorite commandos besides Sev and Boss, at least in visual media. I think, is it Darman from the original books? Yeah, he's like one of my favorites. If we're talking about books, I'm getting too far into that, but basically Scorch shows up and he's sort of hunting down the Bad Batch. Gregor shows up, and I was very happy about that. I knew it was Gregor from the very beginning because it was a clone commando running away, and you could tell he was a clone commando by the armor he was wearing. And I was assuming because the hair was also very similar, it was Gregor, so I'm glad I was right about that. So we got 2 characters that I was very happy to see, and that was Gregor and Scorch. But that also begs the question, where is the rest of Delta Squad? And why was there so many commandos on that base? Because there was a lot of other commandos there too. So to answer these questions, did you have something to say?
I think I can answer that question.
Okay.
Most people tend to forget that the Stormtrooper Corps was actually meant to be sort of the elite of the Imperial Army.
Yeah.
So of course they're getting commando level training, not just here's a gun, here's how you point this at somebody and fire.
Well, I think they did that near.
That's for the Imperial Army plebs.
Yeah.
Where, the Stormtrooper Corps actually got training and then sucked.
Well, that's true. But their armor looks good, and we got to see a lot of the Clone Commandos there. I just wonder if we'll get to see more of Delta Squad as well. Commander Tano was right, though, about where it was called War Mantle, and I'm glad she mentioned the name last stream, because the fact that she mentioned that and then told us what it meant, because I almost forgot what the name of the project was that Rampart was working on. It was clear that it was, the conscripted soldiers, and that showed us right there that it was going to be a more serious episode, part of the main story, not just sort of a filler-ish episode. So, Commander Tano, you have prediction powers as well. So, thank you for doing that for us. Since we're on the topic of all this stuff, though, what do you have any speculations or anything like that about or just anything to talk about this episode that stuck out to you? I'll go ahead and start with you since you're underneath me.
I think actually mentioning War Mantle, it's kind of a perfect segue into a lot of what we really haven't talked about yet is just the stuff happening on Kamino between Lama Su and Nala Se. And the Empire catching on to their plans. And I've got so many questions. The other thing too, the one brief thing that I'll mention that I find is interesting, and I think it makes sense, like how Sir AOA explained it, like why these recruits are getting commando training. The one thing I find interesting is that this is happening on, this is happening on a hidden base. It's being hidden, but it's like, who is it being hidden from, and how long? And also, it's like, I'd love to know how much time has elapsed, A, since the first episode, but B, how much time has elapsed since that base was set up and those people were brought there. I'd like to know more about kind of the timeline of War Mantle, and also, is it like that the Empire has been hiding the fact that they're going to replace clones with just regular people? Is it they're just hiding it from the Kaminoans or from someone else? Or so that's an interesting question that I don't know if they'll answer or not. But so the stuff on Kamino I thought was really interesting, and there's part of me that thinks that thinks what happened was, it's just a straightforward, Lama Su's telling Nala Se, okay, get some people together and get ready to leave, and then they got caught and that's it. The other part of me almost wonders, knowing Nala Se, if she tattled on Lama Su to the Empire, because they're basically like, to Lama Su, we don't need you, we do need her, she's useful, you're not, so that's something I don't know if that we're gonna learn more about that. But the other thing that is just kind of what I'm curious about is just kind of this kind of dark sort of moment, like when you see there's the moment where there are a bunch of the young clone cadets walking down the hall, and they're asking one of the Kaminoans, like, oh, are we still going to be soldiers? And they're like, yeah, sure. And it's like, you kind of wonder what happens, what's going to happen to them, because they've got so many of these new clones that have literally they've just hatched. I don't know a better term. It's like what do they do with them? Maybe that's a question we're gonna have answered. But yeah, I like a lot of what I liked kind of the Gregor and Hunter and all of them and all that main element of the episode, but I was really intrigued by kind of all the Camino bits in there.
Okay, somebody's hitting my doorbell. Why are they doing this? Anyway,
they want your attention.
They're not. They're getting somebody else. It's not mine. They don't need my attention, nor are they worthy of it.
Nor
says the guy that's nor should they actually.
Because isolation. It's a thing.
Yes, unfortunately. The one thing about this whole the clone mess, the clone cadets wondering about whether they'll be clones and all that stuff. They never really confirmed whether that she got them off of Camino though, or some of them. Let me put it that way. And they never exactly confirmed the reason for it either. And my idea, and everybody stay with me on this one, clone rebellion. Now, I know it's far-fetched, and I've never mentioned this before, ever, but I'm thinking that it may be for a clone rebellion. I don't expect you guys to agree with me all at once, but, that's just my ideas.
I will use my non-predictive powers. There will be no clone rebellion. There will be no clone rebellion. Hopefully that'll give you a clone rebellion.
Hopefully.
You're not meant to say that. You meant to just say, there is going to be no clone rebellion. And that's it.
Oh, I found it works either way. Like I will, if I think that I'm going, and I will outline the strategy for how it works to people. Like if I think I'm going to fail a test, if I want an A on a test, I will say that I'm going to fail it, and I tell people that I'm saying I'm going to fail it, not because I sincerely think I'm going to fail it, but because it will convince the test grade giving gods to give me an A. So that's how it works.
That's usually how it works. That's wonderful. Hopefully the prediction, whatever, is listening as well. Then, I'm really at a loss for words currently because I got the worst headache at the moment, and I'm struggling to think. Okay,
water.
I'm back. I do need some water. Thank you for reminding me. I don't have any with me, and that means I have to go and grab some, and I'm too lazy to do that. I'm a sad person. I'm a sad excuse for a person. I'll go get me some water. But first, I want to also ask about what do you guys think they did with Lama Su? They didn't I'm assuming they are implying that they're going to kill him, but we didn't hear blaster shots or anything like that. Maybe they're just in there to prevent him from leaving, and maybe in the next episode they will escort him out and use him, or they'll probably just get rid of him, honestly, if they haven't already. But I just want to hear what you guys think about that. So go ahead and also speculate on that if you want to. While you're doing that, I'm going to grab me some water because I really do need it. So I'll be right back.
Go. I think they need him for something. The Empire needs Lama Su for something before they kill him.
That one, yeah. I don't think he would have been executed, because the thing is that would cause a lot of issues if they just did that. I've got no idea if, frankly, they would care that much, but that whole regime change. That's it. Finally got the words out of my mouth. But Yeah, I don't know if it would pretty much instantly start a clone rebellion if they did just behind closed doors shoot the prime minister.
I don't think that would start a clone rebellion. I don't, because it's like, what attachment do the clones have to, I think it'd be more like, look at what the Empire, the system has done to us, kind of thing that, might cause some clone rebellion or whatever. But I do think, though, a clone rebellion, I think the Empire would use that as an excuse to dispatch of Lama Su.
Probably. Absolutely.
Well, if he's not dead yet, he might be able to incite the rebellion in order to help him escape.
Maybe there's a hidden order 69.
Actually, there might
Interesting
be.
choice.
Oh yes. Or hang on, maybe it's order 99.
There seriously might be, though. That's probably, I don't know, if I were the Empire, I wouldn't be so hasty to kill him, because who knows what other orders have been programmed into these clones. What if, you know what I mean? Like, what's to stop the Kaminoans from doing that?
Not much.
Yeah, one would think they might have built in a failsafe to help them in case of need. I mean, they don't seem stupid enough to trust the Empire that much.
Or, trust a faceless hologram that covers his face every time they talk to him.
Yeah.
Jesus, Shade pumping the water from a well or something.
I mean, if I had a well, that'd be pretty cool, but no, that's not what's going on. Thank you for asking, though. So what about the hologram on the face thing? I don't get that.
It was just bringing up the fact that the Kaminoans were working for someone who pretty much has their face hidden all of the time.
Oh. So I wonder who that would be. I forgot about that.
I can't actually remember the point that that was brought up with.
Clone rebellion, something.
I mean, this whole thing could be leading to a clone rebellion.
Yep, absolutely.
I feel like this last episode has really solidified it.
Just how is it going to come about?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to get in the next two episodes or next season?
It'll probably be next season.
Yeah, I would say it's next season. I would not be surprised if the next two episodes was redeeming Crosshair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And not killing him.
Yes, exactly.
That's what's made me so happy about them getting the second season, because that ups the chances that they're not going to just kill him.
Exactly.
Well, see, the thing is that really, what can you do with 2 more episodes? It's too early to, it's too short of the amount of time to do a clone rebellion. We've got a captured hunter. And we have Crosshair coming to him straight away.
This is basically it's basically like the season finale of the first season of Rebels. It's like
I was thinking the exact same thing.
It's basically do it no family matter. They're gonna get Hunter back. They're gonna fix Crosshair. You might get some cameo from someone at the end or some little thing, as a bonus. But it's gonna be pretty much concentrated on that.
I was thinking the exact same thing. This was just like when Kanan was captured. That is the literal thought that came to my mind right before you said that. So I think we're on the same page. And hopefully they don't follow the exact same path that season finale went, because it would feel like they're just trying to rehash it a little. I want it to be a little bit different. But honestly, the fact that Crosshair showed up, was he already at the base, or did he know that they were going to show up there? That's another good question.
I think it was. I think it was he heard that Hunter got captured and flew immediately over.
Oh, okay.
Also,
Okay.
I don't think he was there because they would have shown that.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
also,
true.
When Crosshair was saying at the end, just I was like, he was expecting the whole team, but you will do it. It's really kind of weird how it's been. It's gonna be so interesting. It's gonna be it's gonna be so interesting. Like when Crosshair gets his chip out, because sometimes it's like there's some like resentment sort of thing going on with him and Hunter that it's like not aware of.
I think there will be a Battle of the Heroes type of fight between Crosshair and Hunter. They're going to move far. They're going to get lightsabers somehow, and they're going to duke it out until one loses their arms and legs. Yep, calling it. All jokes aside, though, I do feel like there will be a final confrontation between those two specifically.
And ending with Crosshair getting his chip ripped out. Even
if it's by force, like physically ripping that piece of his head out.
I think that would be a little too dark for Disney.
Hello there. How are you doing, Nerd for Real? Nice to see you here. You're awesome. Yeah, that'd be too brutal. I'm just kidding. But to be honest, though,
not really.
I feel like I mean, I feel like what will happen is there'll be like some sort of emotional fight between the two of them. I mean, this probably won't happen. I want it to happen.
You left me behind.
And like if you noticed how Wrecker his chip activated the more he got his head hit and all that stuff, maybe hitting Crosshair will do the complete opposite.
Activate it. Oh no, deactivate it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Will they ever?
Well, it worked for Hawkeye.
Title The Good Batch. That's true. That's true. It did work for them. Yes. Okay. I don't know. They may someday. I've got to think that my brain is just pudding at the moment, so I'm trying to remember everything that went on during this. It feels like last Friday was forever ago. I thought today was Wednesday.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens to the brain under lockdown conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, this is from experience. We're in our 6th lockdown.
This is the first time I've been isolated like this throughout the whole COVID event, and this is the weirdest thing I'd ever experienced because My job, I'm considered essential, so of course I didn't get locked down at all. I continued life almost as normal, besides having to wear a mask and all that stuff. But now I'm literally stuck at home and can't leave the house. So that's really different for me, at least for long periods of time like this. I feel like this is the longest I've ever been off of work, and when I'm supposed to be working, and not because I put off for it or anything like that. So I don't know, but my brain is like pudding. So forgive me if I say dumb stuff that don't make sense, or if I'm very slow. But
isolation will do that for you.
Yeah. I've been like, I know this is off topic, but I've been working on either getting these videos out as best I can, even though I've not been physically able to the last couple of days before yesterday or something like that. I tried to edit and all that stuff, but I was in too much pain at the time and I could not focus, and I did not want to put out something that would have turned out terribly. So I just, even though the videos are going to be late and Halo Infinite Flight's over with, hopefully people will still watch the videos. I'm going to put them out just a few days later than I meant to. But it's stuff like that I've been working on while being sick. And then I almost considered not having the stream today, but the reason why I did is because the last episode of The Bad Batch was too good to not talk about, especially after the episode that we had before that. Now, if that was the episode that we had seen last Friday, I would have canceled the stream entirely because there wasn't much to talk about. But that didn't happen. I'm sick now. I'm not back then. So I did it anyways to talk about that because I really wanted to hear what you guys thought about the latest episode. But I've been like really out of it these last few days. And finally, I got the first Halo Infinite video out. And then the next one comes out tomorrow. And hopefully Monday, because I still haven't recorded the last one yet, because it's more of a commentary video. I've got the footage for it, like the background footage, but I haven't recorded the audio. Hopefully I'm feeling good enough to record the audio for the commentary video that I'm going to be doing. I forgot where I was going with this whole thing that I've been telling you guys about. I completely forgot where I was going. Oh, well.
I think you were trying to explain why your brain wasn't working properly.
Oh, that's right.
That was the point you were trying.
Yeah, so I've been I was working on all that stuff, and it got very difficult because of how my head has been hurting and dizzy. And I forgot exactly of what all I did throughout the last few days because my days have just blended in together and my brain is like causing me to forget things. I don't know why.
Isolation will do that to you.
Yeah. Speaking of forgetting things, I remembered something, but I'll talk about that later. Let's see. I want to read a couple of these before we move on. I forgot what we were talking about before I went on that little side discussion. Let's see. Hey Shade, Kronos, or anyway, and Ahsoka herself. When will we see Ezra Bridger and Thrawn again? That's a good question.
Probably in the Ahsoka series.
I believe so. Didn't they say something about that coming out in 2022 or something like that?
I think so, yeah.
So it's a good possibility that in 2022 we will be seeing all three of those characters show up. Or both those characters, not all three. Both those characters will probably show up in the Ahsoka series. Now,
I'd like to see a young Thrawn in the Bad Batch. That would be cool.
Me too.
That would make sense.
It would make sense because now they've started this whole new Empire stuff, and they need to have more officers that have a very similar view to, or share a similar view to what the Empire views. So, Thrawn being the very gifted person that he is, the Empire can't afford to not have somebody with his talents on their side. And even though he isn't human, because they tried to stay away from conscripting any aliens into their ranks, Thrawn being one of the only few means that he must be extremely gifted for the Empire to have chosen him to be within their ranks. So I feel like we need to see how that plays out, and in the Bad Batch that might happen. Maybe Rampart somehow dies or something like that, or gets replaced by a new upcoming admiral or officer, let me put it that way, named Thrawn, and then we get to see how he starts out. That would be pretty cool. I personally like that idea.
No, don't say that. I mean, Rampart is just such an interesting character. He's given us so much.
He is interesting. I do like Rampart. I don't want him to die, but I'm just saying that if I had to choose between the two characters, I would, of course, choose Thrawn. I mean, Rampart, we haven't seen enough of him for me to care all that much about the villain, but so far, he has become very intriguing, and if they do get rid of him for any other reason other than to show Thrawn, I will be disappointed because I feel like they could really do something with Rampart, and they probably will. He'll probably remain for the next few next few seasons, because I feel like there'll probably be more than just 2 seasons of the Bad Batch. But then again, who knows what Disney will do? Anyways, as far as Thrawn showing up, though, he'll show up in the Ahsoka show around 2022 or 23. I'm pretty sure it's 22, though. Let's see. There's a few other comments here that Nerdpo Real has left for us. It's been 3 years. Disney followed that up and don't cancel people. That's very true. I need to put that on the screen. It's been 3 years. Disney followed it up and don't cancel people. That is so true. Oh, and care about your canon and characters. That is also true. If you don't care about the canon or the characters, then you ain't got nothing, because nobody's going to care about what they make, you know? Assuming Rosario, I think he's talking about Rosario Dawson. Yeah. Her Ahsoka, assuming she don't get canceled. I hope she don't either. She did really good in that episode of The Mandalorian. I was really worried at first. I don't know if I ever told any of you guys or if we talked about it on the stream before, but I was really nervous about Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka. I didn't really know much about her at the time. And I was thinking, are they going to, let's say, voice over Ahsoka with Ahsoka's Ashley Eckstein voice, or are they going to have her voiced over by Rosario Dawson? And the fact that they said that Ashley Eckstein won't be voicing over her like Sam Witwer did with Maul in Solo, because I thought if they did it with Maul in Solo, they can do it with Ahsoka in the Mandalorian. But they didn't. But I was not disappointed, and nor would I want to change it. I mean, yes, I like Ashley Eckstein's Ahsoka, but I guess for live action, we'll leave Rosario Dawson to it, because she did a really good job as Ahsoka. And if they cancel her, I will be very disappointed. Let's see. He's got a few other ones here. How do you guys feel about the current canon versus the Legends? Well, my answer is
what current canon?
What is it?
That's a great.
My question was, what current canon?
Oh, that's you know what? Here you go.
Good job.
I like that. That was good. You got one. You got one.
Thank you.
I completely agree with that. What current canon? There really isn't nothing. The only thing that we really have to go by, because not everybody reads the comics/books, whatever, is the visual media, and they haven't given us that much, to be honest. I mean, yes, we have the Bad Batch, yes, we have the Mandalorian, but that's it so far.
And the High Republic.
Well, we don't count that one because we don't count that one because it's not visual media. Nobody, not everybody reads, unfortunately.
But like, all joking aside, I do mean like what current canon, because Disney can say like that there is a canon, but ultimately that's kind of something that's determined by audiences and what they accept and don't accept, and so it's like I don't think that there is one current canon, really. I think Lucasfilm, the story group, pretends there is, but I think that means something for different people, and frankly, there should be no problem with that. Look, if there are people who genuinely like the High Republic and they're willing to shell out money for it, just like they're willing to shell out money for the 6,000 or whatever for a couple nights, in Galaxy's Edge, whatever that is, fine. If Disney can make money off of that, then fine. But the fact is that there are a lot of other fans who aren't contributing to that and would like other media. And I think Disney and Lucasfilm should just get on board with either fixing the quote official canon and making some adjustments to it. And I think Filoni and Favreau have been kind of toying with that and seeing how far they can get away with that, to see how people respond. So either revise the canon so it's something that more fans like, or just dispense with the idea of, maybe rethink the idea of canon and just, continue to make some of those High Republic things, but they kind of just stay in the museum. Those are legends. Those are, it's like, if people want to play around with Geode and that stuff,
Let's get High Republic. Okay, They got me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You need to, in order to be able to
read it.
That. Yeah. Make it powerful.
Yes. After reading the first 3 chapters, yes, you need some form of mind-altering substance to really sort of enjoy it.
So you're saying Disney just made you go into drugs?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's what you're saying.
That's not good.
Sorry, hang on. You got to remember, I need to make sure I'm well supplied with alcohol before I even think about watching The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker. So of course I'm going to need some form of mind-altering substance to continue reading the High Republic.
Yeah. Anyways, as far as the canon goes, though, what current canon? Legends is superior. Current canon is inferior. It doesn't exist. What really the only thing that they've done with the current canon is bring back stuff from the old canon. That's literally all they're doing. And what little they do add to it, it isn't worth anything. So, and that's talking about like the High Republic or the sequel trilogy. They didn't really add nothing to the canon. They really just took away from the canon.
Yeah, they shamelessly strip mine the books, trilogies, comic books, whatever they can find to create something new and something they call new and sell it like it's their invention.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. How Disney? Let's see. How are Disney going to make Rogue Squadron mediocre? Patty Jenkins, you got it. I'm not like
it all depends. I mean, frankly, the first Wonder Woman movie was excellent. And I think that's because Patty Jenkins.
Jenkins.
Yeah, thanks. He's a good director.
Yeah.
Now, writer. Well, we saw, Wonder Woman 1984.
I didn't watch it because I heard of it.
I don't think a lot of people watched it.
I haven't watched 1984 now.
I envy you so much.
Well, to be fair, I never did watch the first one either, and I heard it was really good.
The first one was good.
Okay. I was wondering about that because I'm like, if it's the same people that did this first one, then I don't have any faith.
Patty Jenkins directed both, but in the case of Wonder Woman 84, they gave her full control. She did everything for the production, so she's not excellent in all the areas. I mean, she's a good director, but she didn't know how to write that story. Writer. And the first movie was a success because it was supervised by Snyder.
Yeah. This comment right here is what I was talking about. I think, was it last stream or the stream before? I can't remember. There was a stream or two, or maybe even 3 streams back. I don't know, but I remember talking about this, that Disney made the dumbest decision of wiping the canon. Heart of the Jedi, that was the name of the book that I was talking about, got suppressed. EBN has digital copies. Now, that book, I think they sold, if this is the one I'm thinking of, got sold on Amazon, and shortly after they started selling it, they took it down because it was outselling their High Republic series. So that is what I was talking about. If you didn't realize that the last time that we were talking about this. Now back to Wonder Woman 1984. He says that he would rather watch 1984 about dystopian future than Big Brother. I would too. That's pretty good. Yeah, Amazon removed it. He said it. Amazon removed it. That's what it was. So that just goes to show how the current canon versus the old canon, like how it's doing. If a book that's been like out on print before and then goes out of print and then comes back and it sells even better than the current stuff, that tells you something about the current stuff. So let's see. You are very special. You're very special to us. That used to be Sir AOA and Chrono, but then they joined in the actual fun. Maybe sometime you can join in the actual fun too. But right now you're very special because you're my sole viewer. Yes. Anyways, I think we've deviated from the Bad Batch a lot this episode. Let's go ahead and talk about something.
So in other words, business as usual.
Yes, business as usual. There's one thing I did want to talk about, and this part really got me. Well, a couple parts really got me in this episode. I already mentioned Scorch and Gregor, all that, The battle at the end is what really got me. The desperation and all that stuff. They really, made you feel like they were going to lose something. Maybe not to the extent of like losing a comrade, but they made you feel like something is going to go terribly wrong. And when Hunter fell, we knew that things were going to go downhill from there. And
literally?
Yeah, literally. that pun was not intended, but now it is. But anyways, once everything went downhill, wink, wink, that's when, like, the whole tone of the episode changed, in my opinion. That you knew, or not even just, it's the tone of the series. I guess that's not what I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say? Basically, it changed things a little bit. It raised the stake. That's what I'm trying to say. And you felt like there was an actual reason or an actual story going on, that there was actual threat. I don't know exactly what more to say about it, except that it really changed how I viewed the series, because this is how I really wanted the series to be, was this serious type of I guess, dark adventure, where you do feel like you can lose something. And which, of course, Hunter's not going to die, but it's that feeling of desperation that really made that episode really cool, because they didn't feel like they were invincible. And I'm glad they didn't make them look like it. So, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you said.
Good.
It definitely felt that there were stakes and something was going to go wrong, and it ended up happening. Yeah. It was a really sort of well-written episode.
It was also very sad to see how they keep trying not to hurt them. I mean, they keep firing stun shots at them.
Mm-hmm.
And you see these other troopers blasting the hell out of them, and it's like the moment they step out of the exhaust port from the reactor, waiting for the ship to come here, and blaster bolts just rain on them. It's like, yeah, I mean, this is serious.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, they weren't trying to kill them, so that shows they do, I guess. I don't know. What does that show exactly? Why weren't they trying to kill them? Let's talk about that for a second.
Well, the thing was that they're probably still thinking they're probably still thinking about them as clones, not as enemy troopers. Because you got to remember, it was, only halfway through the escape that they realized, hang on a second, these aren't clones.
Mm-hmm.
And they're possibly still thinking like soldiers of the Galactic Republic. We need to protect the Republic. These are members of the Republic.
Yeah.
These aren't droids. We stun.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they change their thought processes in the next few episodes.
Yes, I agree. Also, real quick, I don't know why. Are you all looking forward to Star Wars Visions being its own universe? And I think we talked about that in the previous stream. We'll touch on this real quick since you asked. Yes, I'm sort of sad that it is its own universe, but at the same time, I don't know how an anime Star Wars would fit in the current canon, which I don't think anything really fits well in the current canon. But that's besides the point.
That's also promising, and that hadn't occurred to me. And I get it's kind of by necessity, they kind of have to keep it in a separate unit. But the fact that they are creating content that it's like this is in a different universe. Yeah, it'd be interesting to me, what that means for the future if they're becoming more open to just having a more fragmented canon, and so that way we can give everyone what they want.
They should. Yeah. What they should do is have two different canons: the Disney canon and the Legends canon, and let you choose. Basically, they're both canon, technically in their own universes. I guess it's like a multiverse type of deal, like you've mentioned before. Why should we try so hard to be like, well, this side's terrible. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be canon. Well, guess what? You have your canon too now, so less people are probably going to complain. The only real complaints that you get is if they try to abandon making anything for the Legends canon, and in favor of the new canon. Ever, if they, I don't think I'm making sense.
You're making sense.
Maybe.
I am. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Well, if they stop making things for the Legends canon in favor of the new canon, or I mean, in favor of the other canon, like that would be the problem. But if they make stuff for both sides, then that would appease mostly everyone, I want to say.
Well, the thing is that, and I think this is where Favreau and Filoni are going, is that they're making. You could almost probably say the Filoni Favreau canon, and dragging as much Legends in as possible.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to look at it.
Which is what they really should have done at the beginning, but then again, I would have never let it happen. And that's why it didn't happen. But so now we're sort of stuck with this tumor on Star Wars canon, which I think probably if anyone has any sense, they would remove it ASAP. At which point you will have sort of off Legends canon being mixed into official canon, where the sequel trilogy will just be left to die on the vine type situation. Up until the witch Kathleen Kennedy leaves, at which point we might not see anything from the sequel trilogy ever, which would be a great thing.
That would be great. But I will say everything that they've done so far does have its fans. Unfortunately, there are people that actually do like, let's say, the sequel trilogy. So you got to sort of appease those people, and albeit making stuff for that side of the canon, or not even just removing what they've currently made and just what I mean is they don't have to like acknowledge that stuff anymore. They can leave it for those people that do like it. But honestly, I mean, those people themselves probably know that it's not the best trilogy.
The point that we sort of made up came up with. Yes, Raylo. But we sort of brought this point up in that from a certain point of view stream was that there is nothing you can create for after the sequel trilogy. There is no Clone Wars to be created after the sequel trilogy.
Nope. And there doesn't seem to be anything during it either. That's worth anything.
Yeah, so why would you try and keep it if most people don't want to see any of it, or B, you cannot really create anything from it.
I mean, it don't make sense. I mean, it's not profitable at all for them in the least. From my point of view,
nothing about the sequel trilogy has been profitable.
Then you are lost.
Nothing about the sequel trilogy has been profitable.
No.
You might go, oh, the sequel trilogy was profitable. Not really, seeing how
more and more money.
Yeah.
Until they got to Solo, then it actually lost money.
Each movie had returning less profits.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, you got to remember that after the sequel trilogy, Disney was still in the hole because they spent $4.2 billion on the franchise and probably only made half of that in profits from the movies.
Yeah.
So, no, they were not profitable. Frankly, the sequel trilogy should have wiped out the investment straight away. It has not. And the thing is that toy sales are almost non-existent. So the sequel trilogy has not been profitable for Disney. What has been profitable? Everything but.
Just look at The Mandalorian and Bad Batch.
I shouldn't say everything but, because the everything in but would be also including the High Republic.
I knew you were going to say that.
What has been profitable? Everything that the Lucasfilm Story Group and Kathleen Kennedy has not been involved in. Everything that they've been involved in has not been profitable, has not been popular. So, if you're trying to make money, why would you use it?
Yeah.
Simple answer, you wouldn't.
Did you say sequel trilogy? It's more like the Disney trilogy. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a point. It basically was rebooted and recycled. I mean, episode 8, even though it sort of reversed it around and had a Hoth-like scene near the end, which they thought they were clever and made a guy taste the ground, which was salt. Who in the world would taste the ground like that on a foreign planet? That's just dumb. But just to make sure we knew it wasn't snow, he tasted it. And they wanted to make that the major difference between that and or between that scene on Crate and the Hoth scene in Star Wars episode 5. Not only that, but the entirety of Star Wars episode 7 was like Star Wars episode 4. I mean, there was so many similarities and recycled things throughout the entirety of the new sequel trilogy or Disney trilogy that it wasn't really a sequel, just a rehashed original, poorly rehashed. And I also agree with this statement. Episode 9 should have been bigger than Endgame. Endgame was built up over the last few years with like 20 movies, I guess, or so. So, of course, it was going to be big, especially with the way they wrote everything. It was pretty genius, in my opinion. But Star Wars has been around since 1977. I don't know why it took me so long to get that. And the story has been building ever since then. Even though maybe not one movie a year like Marvel has done, but it has still been building with TV shows and other media like that, the canon. So to have a ending, a new complete ending to the Skywalker saga, which is what they call it now, you'd think that would have been bigger than what it was. They had Lando bring everybody from across the galaxy because he's the real Mary Sue, but that whole scene didn't feel like that moment when Captain America turns around and all the portals start opening up.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised no one's done a re-edit of all the ships appearing through portals.
I bet there is a re-edit that we just ain't seen yet. I have a feeling I have a feeling there is one. Leia ODs on the Force. That's good.
Force! That's a hell of a drug.
Oh man, that's pretty good. Let's see. The original trilogy characters should have helmed this with them passing the torch at the end. If they die, that's fine, but it's how they died. Han gets murdered by his son. Luke gets tired of the Force, and Leia ODs on the Force. They should have had a scene together and not and should have not regressed their characters.
And
Han became. Go ahead.
As impressive it was that Lando wasn't killed off at the end, and that he had this triumphant, was able to kind of call in everyone to come and help. I still think it's like Lando wasn't. They didn't treat Lando well either, because it's like he's like spending most of the time on a desert planet in the middle of nowhere, like
20 years on a desert planet and wasn't able to find anything.
Lando Calrissian just gonna stay on a desert planet for 20 years.
And then here comes Rey and the group, and they find it within the first 10 minutes of them being there, just by falling into a I guess a quicksand pit, even though it's not quicksand. Yeah,
Yep.
That just makes Lando look bad, because he's been there for years doing trying to help Luke finish what Luke started, I guess, even though Luke gave up on it too and just went to go die somewhere. So,
hey, like we said in the previous stream, every single character, even outside the quad of the, well, sorry, it would be more a quintet of characters.
Yeah,
were failures, and most of them died as failures.
Yeah, exactly.
And people go, I watched the sequel trilogy and it gave me hope.
I can't stand stuff like that. I don't get the hope from it. What hope do we get from Luke being a disgruntled, useless hermit, or Leia floating through space somehow? I mean, the only hope
Lando
that gives
being
me
on
is
a
that I have
desert planet.
or that too. But Leia becoming Mary Poppins throughout the through space, that's the only hope I can get out of that, is maybe I can survive space too if I ever somehow go to space and get sucked out of a hole that my son creates just to kill me. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And I have so much hope from that scene that I will survive it. So,
Snake, get that call.
He says his favorite scene was the single scene with Luke and Leia in The Last Jedi. I actually did like that scene. I actually did. And it was a good scene between the two of them, but that was the only good scene in that movie.
Except they weren't together.
Yeah. Yeah, Luke wasn't even there.
It was a hologram.
So why did he force Skype dice? I mean, those were Han's dice, yes, but Why did he force Skype those to her? And think about this. If Rey can somehow pull things out from the Force, like let's say a lightsaber and give it to Kylo, that kind of thing. If she can manipulate physical objects with the Force like that, why in the world couldn't Luke do that with the dice?
And put it into Ben's hands.
Yeah, that too. And that would have made for a touching scene right there. That would have, in a way, sort of redeemed, not even redeemed really, but it would have added something to that scene between him and Kylo, because I really hated that scene because he's like, I'm not here to save you. I'm just going to taunt you the whole time with somehow a different haircut and a different robe, and the somehow destroyed blue lightsaber that I hold in my hand, even though it's not destroyed because I'm using it. That is all that scene was about, was taunting Kylo and not trying to save him, just to show how far gone I guess Kylo was. But taunting him wasn't going to bring him back either. And they kept talking about, oh, I know my son's gone, or I know my nephew's gone. I almost killed my nephew because he had a bad dream. But anyways, aside from that, that would have added something to that scene. Him talking about his dad to him and talking about what a good person he was. And then after he realizes it's just a Force Skype hologram thing, he walks up to him and manipulates the Force to put the golden dice in his hand, and then says, "See you around, kid." That would have added at least something to that scene. Oh my gosh, they're loud in there, aren't they? Do you guys hear that?
Yep.
Oh gosh, I hate it when they do that. They know I'm doing this. Why do they do that? I think they want to be part of the stream.
They want to be famous.
Come on down.
Let's see. I agree. I completely agree. It was mainly Luke just taunting Kylo at the end. He wasn't even trying to help him. I feel Luke and Kylo Ren's arc didn't resolve. It never did. And Luke should not have died. Carrie Fisher passed away. They should have killed Leia off and kept Luke alive. Yeah. I mean, I don't believe they would have killed off Leia if Carrie Fisher had survived. And I don't think they planned on it. But the only reason why they killed Leia is because Carrie Fisher passed. And there's not really much they can do with Leia without Carrie Fisher. I mean, yeah, they could have maybe CGI'd her in there or something like that. And I get it. You don't want to... I mean, for somebody like Carrie Fisher being such a staple in the Star Wars franchise, you don't want to just CGI that person in and be like, okay, we're replacing her completely with a CGI'd model and a new voice actor that sounds like her. I get that. Even though the footage that they used didn't seem to fit too well in The Rise of Skywalker, I mean, you can tell it's a little off, but it is what it is. I can't get mad at that, but at the same time, I feel like they would have left her alive.
With her all in the Millennium Falcon flying to somewhere. That's exactly. What we can
yeah, they should have all been together, but they never showed them up, and that was so stupid. They only CGI'd Leia once, and that was her, I guess, younger self in that flashback. In the Rise of, was that the Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, that was Rise of Skywalker. Right? No, that was Last Jedi, wasn't it? I forgot. I haven't watched either of those movies in forever.
Rise of Skywalker.
That's what it was? Okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Well, let's see. I agree. I know there wasn't much they can do, but I feel like they could have done something a little bit better than that. They just reused lines and stuff like that from previous movies and looks from previous movies.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, seeing how they killed off Luke, there really wasn't anyone that could train Rey, so the only person that was left was Leia, and let's face it. Yeah, and let's face it, you know, she probably wasn't.
She isn't even qualified to teach anybody.
Yeah.
Not of course, anyway.
She probably really wasn't much of a Jedi master.
I hate how Rey kept talking to her as if she was like some grand master that knows all about the Force. I mean, I get it. Leia learned a little bit about the Force, but this is the only explanation they gave was that Luke was teaching her for a short time, but then she had a bad vision about her. Everything that she loved will be destroyed. And in a way, that's true. But I think that's because she didn't follow through with her training rather than actually quitting her training.
So it's always a vision that makes it all go to hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like as an example, if somebody told you that you're going to die tomorrow and you try your best to stop yourself from dying tomorrow, but you end up dying anyway, it could be because you tried to stop yourself from dying that caused you to die.
Yeah, that's what Master Uwe told us that in Kung Fu Panda.
Yep, exactly. So the thing is, she had that vision, and so did Luke. They both had visions that dealt with well, not Luke, but Luke did, like, he sensed the bad dream, I guess, or whatever that Kylo was having. I don't know. He sensed something. Either way, they both knew something bad was going to happen, but they made rash decisions that caused those things to happen. So therefore, it's actually Luke and Leia that both caused all this trouble because they made rash decisions, which degrades their character.
Yet again, going back, they all died as failures.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the problem with the Disney trilogy movies. Now, they could have done so much more. They could have actually done good with these characters, but they decided, nah, this is about Rey. Forget Luke, forget Leia, forget Han, especially Han. Harrison Ford wants Han to die, so kill him. And I get that. But they could have done something better, of course. But
absolutely.
I mean, they could have gave him a better death. They did it because they felt like they were forced to, I guess. I don't know. Or they just didn't want to take the time.
We came up with a better death sequence for Han than
we did.
Than professional writers.
Yeah, exactly. I think we should be the story group.
Oh, hey, like I've said this multiple times. 5-year-old children would do a better job than the Lucasfilm story group.
That's true. Yeah. That Nerd for Real says that these characters need to earn their place in the series. It's not their story, like Lucasfilm kept stating, and it isn't their story. They're new to the universe, but they're treating it like they own the universe, or they're the only hope for the universe, and that's not even remotely true. Luke Skywalker was the new hope during Episode 4, and he saved the galaxy in Episode 6. The whole story is really about Anakin's redemption, though. So Luke is a catalyst to that. Anakin was redeemed and killed the Emperor and brought balance to the Force. The whole galaxy is really supposed to revolve around the Skywalkers, not some nobody that takes the name in the end. Not a Palpatine. That's true. That's true. Now Rey is the chosen one. No, she is not. I mean, I guess to their standards she is, but Not to me. But what do I matter though? Disney doesn't listen to people like me. They have a story group that they think knows best. I did not mean to do that, but we'll read that anyway. Episode 9 undermines Anakin's sacrifice, and that to me was unforgivable. And Rey is not a Palpatine. Yeah, they shouldn't have turned her into a Skywalker. They shouldn't have. I mean, she shouldn't have been a Palpatine either. But where they made her into a Palpatine and then changed her into a Skywalker in the end, that's just dumb.
And it makes no sense because they want to get rid of the Skywalker legacy and they turn their main character into a Skywalker. Why would you do that?
Because she represents something better than the Skywalkers. But they couldn't just get away with not calling her a Skywalker or leaving her a Palpatine in the end. I mean, just think about it. If that old woman asked her, Rey who, and she said Palpatine, there would probably have been a even greater backlash than what we originally got when she revealed herself as a Skywalker. I mean, a lot of people are defending it because that is the name of her teachers and she wanted to adopt the name to pay respects. I get that argument, but it's dumb and it shouldn't be used. And because she didn't do anything to earn that name, first of all. Second, she is still technically a Palpatine, but where she calls herself a Skywalker in the end, that changes things apparently. But if she had said Rey Palpatine at the end, then there would be a lot more problems because they would be openly admitting right there that a Palpatine literally won the entire thing. They started this from the beginning and ended it. The Skywalkers are all but wiped out. I mean, they technically are anyway.
Stars.
Huh?
Well, instead of Game of Thrones, Game of Stars.
Yes, Game of Stars. That is probably the best way to describe this current, well, not current turn of events. Yes. I think it's almost current. It didn't just happen. I'm rambling. Let's see. I said this last time, but it is too bad Rey wasn't there to prevent Palpatine from destroying the Jedi and forming the Empire. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Rey could have done it. I mean, she should have just willed herself into existence. She's so strong with the Force.
Well, maybe she can download Force time travel from ForceNet.
Oh man, that sponsor's a good one. That's probably one of my favorite ones, besides the Wookiee hair care products. I think we know. Yes, because she care. Let's see. Rey just needed that second lightsaber to slay the Sith Master himself. Yeah, she took both the lightsabers. And she just forms an X with them and reflects all the lightning back at him. But once he stops blasting lightning, somehow, for a short time, lightning still keeps coming from her lightsabers. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. Maybe I'm wrong, but did anybody else notice that?
What she needed to do and what she should have done was just had one lightsaber defending the lightning, then sticking the other lightsaber out in front of her, just directly pointing at Palpatine, and then she should have just then activated her super Mary Suing powers and had Palpatine fly into the outstretched lightsaber.
Yeah, she should have done that. That's what she should have done. I am all the Sith, and I'm all the Jedi. I didn't feel like putting a lot of effort into the voice for obvious reasons. these movies ruin watching the original trilogy and prequel trilogy because I thought about that. Well, I would agree with you, but if you don't learn to separate this trilogy from the original and prequel, then yeah, it will be hard to watch those movies. I've officially, in my mind, this was one of the hardest things for me to do because I kept trying to accept it that it was part of the canon. Back during The Last Jedi, I did want to like the movie, but it got to the point where I couldn't. After The Rise of Skywalker came out, I finally separated this trilogy from the original and the prequel. That is a very hard thing to do in your mind because you're thinking, okay, these movies are the official movies coming out, so they're officially canon. But in your mind, if you can somehow separate what this is compared to the originals, in your mind, you can make this not canon and you can feel good about it, you know? I might not be explaining that the best way, but in my mind, I had the Disney trilogy completely separate. I don't even consider it canon anymore.
You divorced it in your mind's eye.
Yes, so I can watch the original and the prequel trilogy without any worries at all. And the reason for that is because I've got it completely separated in my mind, and I don't consider it part of it at all. I mean, every once in a while, I'll think of some of the small good things that the sequel trilogy did. Very small good things that they could have expanded on. But other than that, that's all I've got for the sequel trilogy. You can't really do much with it, and the fact that you can't do much with it means that I just couldn't deal with it, so I had to separate it. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's see. I would need Spock to mind meld me to forget it. Yes. Just having. Huh?
No. Just download some Force abilities from ForceNet.
Is there like a mind melding Force power? I mean, I'm sure Ray can make it happen if that's a thing.
No. You just have to have someone download Mind Trick.
Oh, I guess Mind Trick would be the same thing as Mind Meld.
Yep.
Except you're not physically touching the person's face. Yeah, I think you gotta touch their face. Or wherever their brain is. It's been a while since I've watched Star Trek. I don't know.
Hang on. Seeing how Nodporiel has just brought up Spock and Star Trek, can we have a moment of silence for Star Trek, seeing how they just renewed the contract for Secret Hideout and Alex Kurtzman, which would probably be the final nail for Star Trek.
Yes, let's go ahead and have actually, we'll probably need more than one moment of silence, but we'll go ahead with one moment because I don't think we have the time to give as much respect as old Star Trek deserves, especially with this current move. So, silence. All right, that's good enough. The original series of Star Trek, there was an episode where Spock didn't have to make any contact. That is in the original series. Huh. I can't remember that. Now, it's been a while since I watched the original series. I love the original series. It's so corny, but I love it. But I can't remember that. You'll have to tell me what episode. I got to go back and watch that. I love the original series. It's so good. Let's see. Kurtzman is garbage. Picard broke me, and Discovery is nothing but plagiarized content from every franchise except Star Trek. The Orville does that, and it is a better series overall. I've wanted to watch the Orville because I heard it was basically just Star Trek but better. At least better than current Star Trek. It's what Star Trek should have been or something like that. I wanted to watch it. I've never gotten a chance to watch it. So I'm going to have to check that out when I finally get a chance to. Let's see. by any other name with the Kelvins that captured the Enterprise and or Kevlins. I didn't mean to say Kelvins. With the it is the Kelvins.
Yeah, it is Kelvins.
Oh. Okay, I did read it right. I'm not with it. That captured the Enterprise and tried to go to the Andromeda Galaxy. Okay, yeah. Okay, I got you. Let's see. And okay, it's season 2. I'm going to have to check that out. I got to check that out.
It was probably an episode before they really sort of locked everything down. So,
well, the original series didn't run for that long, did it? I can't remember how many seasons it ran on for. I'm trying to remember because I think I've watched every episode. I just can't remember how many seasons there was. There was I think there's 3 seasons. I knew it was around 3 or 4. So if it happened in season 2 and they didn't have things locked down by then, I don't know what they're doing. But like Nerdpo Real here, I could talk about the original series for hours as well. I love that series. We can actually have a chill stream and just talk about Star Trek on that stream because I love Star Trek. One of my favorite shows as a kid was the original series, and I used to watch Wrath of Khan all the time as well. The second movie, I love that movie. I think the music in that movie is awesome. I'm glad they brought Khan back. You know what? I'm talking about Star Trek too much right now.
That's how interesting the new trilogy is.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's how. Yeah, you're completely right. That I've lost complete interest in the sequel trilogy to talk about the original Star Trek series. That just shows you something right there. Okay, but back to it. Yes, I know. It's basically the same thing. I may have an unpopular opinion, and I know I said we'll get back to the original topic at hand, but I might have an unpopular opinion, but I liked the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies.
Same here.
Same.
You okay? So I'm not the only one.
No,
I liked them.
I never got why they get so much hate. I mean, I understand they are not exactly the way Star Trek used to be, but I don't see a reason to hate what Abrams did. It was good.
Except the lens flares.
Yeah, the lens flares are too much.
I mean, I've watched all 3 of them. The third, now I get some of the criticism with the third one. The third one was not meant to be the last one. That it felt more like, and I've seen this somewhere. I can't remember who I've seen this from, or if it was in the comment section or something like that. But somebody said that the third Star Trek movie seemed like to be just a filler episode in a series or something like that. And I completely agree with that. It did not feel like the end of a trilogy of movies.
It feels like a 3-part episode.
Yeah, exactly. And not saying it was a bad movie. It was a good movie. I liked it. But I do understand that criticism, and I really wanted there to be a 4th one. Well, I gotta say though, if they were trying to be Star Wars, I think they did a little bit of a better job than the sequel trilogy. I don't know what anybody else has to say about that. That might be a very loaded statement right there. But
no, not really. Seems
not really
quite correct.
Let's see.
Well, that's some canceling material right there.
Well, I think I might have to save myself from the cancellation. So here we go. Yeah, there we go. The J.J. Abrams movies were trying to be Star Wars, and we see too much Uhura, and she is insufferable. Okay, I can't disagree. I feel like they did show too much of her. I didn't honestly like the relationship between her and Spock. I felt like Spock wouldn't be the kind to have a relationship like that. Now, that might be me just thinking about the original where he didn't have a relationship like that at all. and Uhura was a lot different in the original. And I'm very stuck with the original stuff. Okay, I guess I can say it like that. I'm very partial. Let me put it that way. I'm very partial to the stuff from the originals. So if they change it too much, I do tend to think of it like it should be the originals rather than what they are currently doing. So, in other words, I didn't like it that they did that. Not that I hated it, but I didn't like it. And Uhura wasn't one of my favorite characters in that trilogy. But all in all, I did actually enjoy the movies a lot, and I did really want there to be a fourth one, at least one more movie to finish off the series. If they had ended, I would rather them ended it with an actual ending rather than just stopping it with that third movie. However good the third movie was, it was okay, but it did not feel like an ending. Now, that's all I'm going to say about that, because we are way off topic, and like normal, we are supposed to be talking about the Bad Batch, but I feel like we really talked about the Bad Batch enough in this episode. What do you guys think? Well, we didn't talk about our speculations on what will happen in the next episode.
Yeah, we kind of did.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
My brain isn't working. Let's see. I'm going to read this real quick. Star Trek is not a dumb, fast-paced action flick. It's supposed to be smarter, more intellectual, and treat its characters with respect. That I do agree with. It was more of an action flick. I had... It's okay. I get it. You really care about Star Trek. It's okay. I get that feeling.
I agree with the action flick part, but I disagree with the respect. I don't think the films disrespect the characters. They do some things differently, but we do know about disrespecting characters. We're bitching about Star Wars all the time. and that's not what we got from Abrams with the Star Trek movies. I don't see disrespect.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't see disrespecting those characters. Yeah, as you said, some of them were changed, but it's not like they were changed to be worse or to be stupid. They just went in a different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
It's technically its own timeline. They did go out and say it's like from the Kelvin timeline. So you can separate it from the originals and not be angry about it, but I do get what you were saying with the fact that it did set the stage for new Star Trek. I do get that. Let's see. I feel they sidelined McCoy in favor of Uhura. Yes, McCoy was the third person in the I can't even say words. You know what? Forget it. I'm not even going to try to say it.
Triumvirate.
Yeah, that word. I'm not with it. But yeah, I agree. They did show more Uhura, I think, than they did McCoy, and McCoy is one of my favorite characters. What was that line that I really liked that he says? I can't even remember it now. Dang it, my brain is pudding. If I remember it, I'll just say it with no context at all. So if we're talking about the Bad Batch, and then it's my turn to start talking about, let's say, Hunter going after Crosshair, I'll just start speaking McCoy references and all that stuff. Yes, I'm a doctor, not an engineer. That's it. I love when he talks about how he's a doctor and not this or that. It's just funny, his reactions to that kind of stuff. That's what it is. For a chief life, chain of command is important. Okay, yeah. All right. Let's get back to the Bad Batch and our speculations and stuff like that. Is there anything that we haven't talked about? Oh, I know. There's one thing that came to mind. Since we've seen Gregor in the last episode, what do you think the chances are that we'll get to see Fox pretty soon? or Wolf. Why did I say Fox? Fox is dead. Wolf.
Yes.
You think so?
Just
Yeah, I
yes.
thought so too.
There's also one other character that I want to talk about too, but I think if it ain't in this season, it might be in the next season or something. But we'll probably end up seeing Fox if we've seen Gregor. We might even see how they get their inhibitor chips removed, so we know how they did it. Unless Wolf already did. I say Fox again earlier?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yes.
Oh my god! It just came to me that I said that. Wolf. Look, if Wolf had his removed before this point, then that's fine. But I'd like to know a little bit of an explanation so I know. Let's see. Before I go on to that, how did Gregor survive the droid arc in the Clone Wars season 5? He was the clone. He was the clone in that, right? Yes, he was. And how he survived, I assume his armor protected him from the explosion. Commandos notoriously have much stronger armor, and if they go by the logic of the Republic Commando game, they also have a shield over their armor. But if that's not the case, then I don't know. But I'm just assuming, and he's not completely undamaged. He might have suffered some injuries. I mean, he's already going a little bit crazy at this point, as you've been able to tell. Or, well, if you've seen the episode, he acts like the Rebels version of him. So he sort of sounds and acts a little crazy compared to what he did in season 5. So he's not 100% okay, but he did survive it, and that's probably because of the armor that he's wearing. But who's to say that he came out of that 100%? I doubt they did. And, I mean, that's all I know to say on that. I'm just assuming that his armor protected him. That's it.
Too many explosions might do that to you.
Yeah, it might make you go a little bit insane. Which also, that's a very interesting topic that can be brought up as well before we end this. Why is Gregor wanting to just leave? Why isn't his inhibitor chip stopping him from acting like the other clones? That's another good question. But I first want to talk about Wolf.
Too many explosions. Many explosions.
Yeah, but it'd be nice if we could just talk about it a little bit, just to lengthen the stream. I'm not supposed to give my secrets on how I keep these streams so long, but you're forcing me to do this. Why? No, that's not how I do it. No, how I do it is trying to end the stream.
Insert Kylo here.
Insert Kylo. I forgot to insert Kylo. Here's Kylo. There.
Yes.
They are all appeased. No, the way that I keep these streams going is by trying to end them from the moment I start them.
Yeah, that works really well.
Because I can never end a stream. We have to sort of get.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I can never end one. I have to let it end itself. But the reason why it lasts so long is because I'm trying to end it.
I could throw something in to make it last a little longer. I don't know if this is mentioned, but
Go ahead.
I liked the bits in the episode with Echo, like when Echo's telling them, like,
yes.
No, if they've got someone there, like, we need to go help him. Like, you all helped me.
Mm-hmm.
I've liked throughout this series that they kept, they maintained an awareness of that history with Echo. I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I forgot to mention that is something that we didn't talk about, and I really appreciate what they did with that. The Bad Batch did not want to do this or help out Rex, but Echo sort of helped convince them, along with Omega. I think she helped as well. They sort of helped convince Hunter that they needed to do this. If Rex trusts this clone, then this clone can be trusted. So I love that Echo seems to be one of the voices of reason for the Bad Batch, along with Omega. I really like that. So Wolf.
Yes.
I don't think we'll see him this season. We'll probably end up seeing him next season. And as far as, I think there was like one other character that I was thinking of. Cody, that's who it was. I think that we'll eventually see Cody here as well. If you guys remember Rebels, the episode where Rex finally confronts the last remaining battle droids during the Age of the Empire, or before, you know what I'm talking about. That one episode. He starts having like this little panic attack thing while he was sort of knocked out. I guess I don't know if you want to call it panic attack, more like probably just PTSD or something like that. And he started yelling out Cody and all that stuff. I feel like there should be something explaining what that was. They never explained that in Rebels.
The other thing too is, in at least I remember from the very first the Clone Wars Bad Batch arc, is they kind of reported to Cody.
Yeah.
A lot. So it would make sense. And Cody keeps being teased. Like they keep teasing, they would tease multiple times in Rebels. And I get that we may get him in the Obi-Wan series, but I feel like we need something in between that.
Yeah, I think we need to see something like, what is he doing now, kind of thing. Or maybe he'll end up betraying the Empire just as everybody else has. And hopefully not exactly join the Bad Batch, but be more like a Rex character. Or maybe he'll go out trying to find Obi-Wan or something like that. Maybe that will segue into whatever the Obi-Wan series puts up. But then again, that might not be a good idea. Who knows? I don't know what they plan to do. But I want an update on Rex, or not Rex. I want an update on Cody. I feel like they neglect his character too much. Other than that, I mean, I think that's all I've got. Cody shoots at Obi-Wan. Jerk. Yes, that was a jerk move right there, Cody. I'm sorry. I like you, but you shouldn't shoot at my man. Hauser's my other man, but Obi-Wan though. Cody versus Rex. Now I just now seen that. I don't know if that was before I started mentioning Cody or after, but I do want to see a Cody versus Rex. That would be so cool. Because there was like a really good relationship between the two of them. Especially like, let's say in the episode called Rookies, where they where Rex and Cody, they sort of help liberate the Rishi, not liberate, they help the remaining clones on the Rishi moon to get the all clear signal to go down. They blow up the base, all that stuff. That whole episode with them two was really awesome. The episode in season 2 where I think it's where Rex gets shot and Cut LaQuaine, the clone that shows up in the second episode of the Bad Batch, him and his family take him in. I think it's the same episode. Cody starts complimenting Rex and saying Rex is a good man, and the Obi-Wan's like, yes, always thinking on his feet. So I know that Cody admires Rex, but I want to see what's going on at this point between them two, and whether Cody himself is like, you're a traitor, so I'm going to kill you, or I'm going to turn you in, or something like that. I just want to see that. I want an update on Cody's character. That would be really nice.
And
yes, and interesting. I'm getting out of breath talking so much.
I mean, it would be interesting to sort of see if Cody sort of regrets sort of shooting at Obi-Wan, or going along with Order 66.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be very cool dynamic to explore. You guys got anything else you want to talk about with this before we actually try to end the stream?
No.
Well, we didn't see Hauser.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dang it. Man, I don't know how long I can deal with this anymore. You know, I mean, yes, we need a Hauser spinoff. That'd be great. The Hauser batch, and that's just Hauser and his squad, and they all have awesome hair like he does. That's just a signature sign of his squad.
They all use Kashyyyk hair care.
Kashyyyk hair care. So his squad is completely sponsored by that, and they're the only few clones that have it. So none of the other clones, they don't look half as stylish. I'm sorry, my boy Rex. You don't have the hair that Hauser does, and Hauser is awesome. So Hauser's superior. There you go. Let's see. I was trying to think of anything else to say, but I'm sort of
I
blank.
think we've sort of tapped out.
I really have. I think I did like halfway through, but I forced myself all the way through it. I've not felt good at all through the stream. Oh Lord. I don't know if you can tell.
Maybe we should end it so you can fight the Koof and
yeah, I might have to do that.
Fight the beer bug.
Yes. Let's. I need to fight the good fight. I need to finish this fight. Speaking of finishing the fight, I'm going to go ahead and before I end the stream, the next video will be out tomorrow. I'm going to make sure it's completely finished today and have it uploaded ready for tomorrow. And then I will have a review video for the Halo Infinite flight. I know it's a little late, and I don't know if I mentioned this during stream or if it was before the stream. Either way, I can't remember anything. I'm going to finish up the commentary video that I haven't started yet, I have started but haven't, and have it out Monday or Tuesday, depending on how things go. And hopefully my voice doesn't sound so bad by that point, because my voice don't sound the greatest right now, I don't think. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. I'm like my brain is working very slowly.
You could always label it commentary by general rules.
Yes, I could say. Let me think of a Grievous quote that I can twist into this. If I can think of anything, I can't think of anything. Oh well. Grievous, like that'd be a funny gimmick if I could ever get the Grievous voice right, but I don't think I can. I can only get his cough right, which that might be enough. Who knows? That might be, or I could just do a whole Watto commentary.
That would be nice.
I know one joke I can make if I did that. During the flight, they give you 3,000 credits, and I could just make that one joke about the credits doing fine and then saying no, they won't, because there's not enough of them. You can't use as much of them as you want. I mean, there was enough to buy everything from the store on there, but there wasn't enough to test out everything with the credits. So yeah, I could have made a good Watto joke there, and I might do that. Who knows? I might do that with the recording if my voice is up to it. Who knows? I think these last couple videos,
drink lots of water.
Drink lots of water. I need more. Oh, dang it! I said it.
Water.
Good thing I put that on there, because I started coughing really badly just then. I stopped myself before it came back on. But yeah, I need more water because my throat is like dead. It's gone. It don't exist anymore. What you're hearing is a ghost of what it once was.
It's the sound just coming from your lungs.
Yeah. I am just a shell of what I once was. But yeah, I think this multiplayer video is going to be the best one I've done so far. I might put out more multiplayer videos of it, or at least make a bunch of shorts for it, because I've recorded every second of me playing it, every single second of it. From the moment I first booted it up to the moment I stopped playing it, I was recording it the entire time. So I have a lot of footage to throw out there. Probably some good moments I can turn into shorts and all that stuff. So I do have stuff. I just haven't felt the greatest to get it all edited. I've been pushing myself as it is lately to get these 2 videos, the one that I'm putting out tomorrow, edited. It's practically done, but I just got to check it out one more time. And I didn't want to upload it while I was doing the stream because it would really kill our internet. And then the stream would probably sound terrible. But yeah, that's. I just wanted to mention that I got some stuff coming out tomorrow and Monday. I've been busy over these last few days. So, anyways, I think we're going to go ahead and end the stream. So I can rest my pathetic voice at the moment. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, leave a comment, maybe subscribe if we earned it, for anybody that watches this. And thank you, NerdPoReal, for being our viewer for the video. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this stream right here. I'm glad that you guys were able to show up. I thought this episode was really good, so I can't wait to see what happens next tomorrow. And if nothing changes, hopefully nothing does, we plan to do a watch party for the final episode of The Bad Batch on the 13th. That will be at like 3 a.m. Eastern or something like that. So if I can, I've been training myself lately to stay awake past 3, because mainly because I can't sleep with this stuff. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. I am. Besides that, I am training myself to stay awake so I can watch this. Because before this, I couldn't stay awake past like 11 or 12. But I'm rambling too much. That's the end of the stream here, guys. So I will see you all in the next one, and may the Force be with you always.